Are you chasing a crown or are you running from yourself? Let's talk about finding who you are before you ever step foot on a stage. What if I told you the crown that you're competing for will never validate who you are as a person? Before the judges ever say yes to you, have you said yes to yourself? The crown does not create confidence, it reveals it. Are you ready to find yourself before you compete? Winning a pageant isn't about becoming someone else. It's about embracing who you already are. Let's talk about why that's your secret weapon. Welcome to the Powerhouse Podcast. I'm Coach Megan, and we're going to talk about embracing your identity, your confidence in yourself today. I actually just got off the phone, literally right before this, with Miss America, Maddie Marsh, who will be speaking at our Powerhouse Mastermind this year in just a few weeks, which I'm so excited about. You guys can click the link or go to mastermind.powerhousepageantry.com to get your ticket. They are on sale through the end of the month, and you will not want to miss it. It's going to be the best weekend, literally ever, as it is every year. And I'm so excited to welcome so many of you guys to my home of Omaha, Nebraska. It's going to be a life-changing weekend that gives you an entire rep before your state pageant. So anyways, we're going to be talking about what actually Maddie and I were just talking about, and a lot of what she's going to be discussing with all of the invitees who go to Mastermind this year. And this is about the fact that the crown is not going to validate you. I actually asked Maddie, and not to spoil what she'll talk about this for a full hour, and then she's going to do a Q&A with you guys too, which will be great. But one of the things that I was just asking her, how did Miss America go? And what's like your biggest reflection on the year? And she just poisedly and beautifully said, she was like, my life, I woke up the next day after I was Miss America and I was the exact same person. Yes, of course, my life had changed in some aspects, and I'm paraphrasing. But she was like, it also didn't. And life is what you make it. The year of you wearing that crown is what you make it. And I think back to even just state title holders that in our own state or in other states, I'm like, yeah, there were some that did a bunch. There were some that did nothing. All those people won Miss State title, but they have completely different years within that. And so we have to ask ourselves the question, why is that? So the first point that I want to make today, as I made in the beginning, is pageants will not validate you. And this is such a epidemic in pageants because I hear all too often on strategy calls where women will be saying, when I win Miss Georgia, I'll finally have the validation that I did something. Or when I win this local pageant, I'll finally prove to myself that this was all worth it. And while I completely understand where people are coming from with that, and that's not inherently like a terrible desire or anything like that, I typically will challenge people at that moment. Because if you are waiting for anything external, and take notes on this today, if you're waiting for anything external to validate your identity instead of putting your identity in Christ, you're going to crumble. Because the second that you get that next rung on the ladder, the second that you get that promotion, the second that you win that pageant title, or you get that boyfriend, or you move to the place that you thought was going to make you happy, or you get married and you thought that was going to make you happy, and you've now climbed that step, you realize it didn't validate you at all. And that actually, usually at that next step, you just are more visible, your problems are more visible, your insecurities are more visible. When you make a mistake, your failures are more visible. And now you've entangled your life with more people speaking into your life, a husband, a director, a boss, a professor, that now you don't even get to struggle alone. You're struggling very visibly. And your insecurities will show themselves up just on a bigger stage. So the first thing that we do with all of our clients is we work on identity. Now, we have people from very diverse backgrounds, and I'm really proud of that. So not everybody is at a place where they're ready to put their trust in Jesus, but we need to stop putting our trust in accolades or thinking that we're going to become something after we get validated by 5 judges. Something that Maddie said that really stuck to me is she was like, if these girls think that they are going to allow themselves to be validated by 5 random people's opinion on one random day, and that's what's going to validate you, that is sad. That's sad. Really? That's where your validation is going to come from, is 5 random people's opinion of you? How low do you think of yourself? How low do you think of yourself? So we need to talk about this because your efforts will be for nothing And you're going to be lighting money on fire and pouring all this effort down the drain, not to mention years of your life down the drain, if you think that the crown or the accolade or the boss or the marriage or whatever is going to create confidence in you. It doesn't. It reveals it. Accolades reveal the confidence that you already had. I also, earlier today, interviewed one of my clients who just got top 5 at Miss America, and we paused in the middle of the interview, and I was just validating her, ironically, and affirming her, and I was like, Steph, like, you're so convicted. You're so authentic. You're so unapologetic about who God has created you to be, though you have had the farthest from a perfect life. How is that? Why is that? So listen to that episode that'll come out here in a couple weeks, or maybe it came out before this. I forget which order of things is this episode. But I was just affirming her, and I was encouraging listeners and watchers on YouTube to say, do you guys feel that when Stephanie talks? She's not asking for validation for her opinions. She's putting it out there full force. She's telling you about her life. She's open about her struggles. She's open about the high points and the low points. And she's not afraid that you're going to be like, oh, Steph went through this thing, and so I think this of her. She's like, okay, have an opinion about what you want about me. Whatever, it's my story. And some of you guys are not there yet. And so you're looking even to me as a coach. You're looking to that celebrity that you follow, that motivational speaker that you follow. You're looking to your mom, your boyfriend, or whatever. And like the Bible says, some trust in horses, some trust in chariots, but I will trust in the Lord my God. Why that's so important is because people are going to fail you. Life's going to life. And guess what? You can't control everything, you guys. One of the things that Steph said in her interview too that was so powerful, she's like, I had to learn how to stop being a control freak and just have fun. Live in the moment. Am I doing what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing? Great. Have fun. Enjoy the ride, or else you're going to be so focused on trying to get to this, almighty validated point in your life where everything is perfect and you're able to control A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's never going to come, and life's going to pass you by, and you're going to have wasted 5, 10, 15 years of your life wasted. And that's not fun. Okay? So before the judges say yes to you, you have to learn to say yes to yourself. Before the boyfriend that you want says yes to you and the man of God that you are believing for comes into your life, you've got to say yes to yourself. Okay? I just got a text from one of my best friends who's in her 30s, believing God for her man, and has gone through great personal development these last couple of years. And it was funny because we had a little morning coffee date at my house. We were cozy by the fire, hanging out with Willow, all the things. And we were just chatting and having a blast and talking about the Lord, talking about just everything, life. And she's a whole boss. She's amazing. She's amazing. And immigrated from another country. Like, she's just the most graceful human being I've ever met in my life. I was like, teach me your ways. And she was talking about how she was dating and how she had to break this belief of there are no good guys around here. Maybe I need to move, whatever. And she just solely focused on, okay, God, how am I representing myself? What are the vibes I'm putting out? Are they the vibes that I think I'm putting out? What's my expectation? What level of energy am I living at? All these different things. And lo and behold, very soon after, she met this amazing man. And she's been on a couple dates, and she just texted me the other day that he wrote her a letter asking if she would be his girlfriend. And it was like super romantic, super wonderful, so thoughtful, chivalrous, all the things that she wants. He's leading, right? Like, he's, oh, honey, you're not going to pay for a thing, like all the things that she desires. And I'm like, because you were finally ready for it. You were finally ready for it. And it was just, you get what you put out. Like, you get the energy that you are putting into the world, and you get what you are, not what you want to be. So work on becoming who God's created you to be, and you will start to attract all the great things in your life. I'll give you another example. I just got off with another client this morning, and she was talking about how she's no longer able to compete in her pageant. Some life things going on. Again, and so we're readjusting, and we're going to do some more life coaching for her to support her and her family in this season. Great. Awesome. That's what we're here for. That's why you work with Powerhouse, because we can help you with relationships, faith, business. We got one of my clients, I'm helping her with her business that she's starting. Super excited about it. Like, I geek out all day. Might have my husband come consult as well because we love it. And so she was asking us some questions of, do you think it'd be wrong for me to ask for my deposit money back? I've invested quite a bit into this pageant already. Like, I had to pay hundreds of dollars for my crown and sash. And we're encouraging her, absolutely. Go ask, just be real, be authentic, share your story, and let's see what happens. She's been doing the work, you guys. She's been really working on herself. And she just messaged us back today and she's like, they're going to give me as much money back as they can. It's thousands of dollars. And boom, one conversation with the confidence and courageously asking. And I'm like, the Bible's serious. You have not because you ask not, or you ask amiss. Thousands of dollars back, just like that. And so many people like just don't stand up for themselves like that. Cool. Okay. So you have to stop trying to get external validation. Number 2, you have to know yourself. Okay. Understanding and highlighting within yourself what is best about you. What do you like about you? What do you love about you? What do you think is special about you? Do you spend time thinking about this? Do you spend time thinking about what you can best contribute to this world? Because confidence stems from congruency and internal alignment. If you are like putting on a show or living like you think, again, what are the judges looking for? Wrong question. You need to have this giant billboard on your face that says, you're looking for me, baby, and you're done looking because I'm what you're looking for. That's the confidence that I'm looking for. But again, a congruent and authentic confidence, not like and I'm better than everyone and everyone else sucks and you guys are dumb, right? That's fake. That's insecurity. That's projecting. No, it's just, hey, I've done the work. I'm excited to be here. I'm having a blast. Let's talk about stuff. I get to be on stage right now. I get to do this fitness walk right now. This is so fun. Okay, I'm going to work a little bit more on this. Okay, I need to like practice my turns a little bit more. You come prepared, but you also come congruent. And when you can be those two things, you guys, you're unstoppable. You really are. Okay. And we've seen this time and time again. Stephanie, who is Miss Ohio that I just interviewed, you guys are going to hear her conviction and her confidence. And she has not had an easy life at all. You'll hear her say, I just decided I wasn't going to be a victim in my own story. And actually, my mom wouldn't let me. Some of y'all need to stop being a victim. And I don't say that in a mean way, but decide that you're a winner. Identify as a winner before it happens. Start walking into the grocery store identifying as a winner. I could be wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, and I still walk like I'm worth $1 million. And not again trying to be like, see me, validate me. I'm not afraid to look people in the eye. I'm not afraid to smile. I'm not afraid to strike up a conversation. I'm not afraid to try to make people laugh because I just don't care. I'm like, okay, great. And if you like scowl at me, you don't smile back, like I move on with my day, on to the next. It's not that big of a deal. But we practice these things in real life scenarios every single day. Okay. How do I find myself? Practical things that you can do. Define your core values. Core values are, look it up on Google, look it up in ChatGPT. That's why it exists. Number 2, what legacy do I want to leave? What do I believe that my purpose is? Where do my passions and my interests and my abilities align? It's a really great way to find your purpose. Okay. Ask yourself, what makes me feel the most alive and authentic? Alive and authentic, probably going to be a North Star for you finding your passion and your purpose. Okay. Number 2, mindset shifts. Start embracing imperfection and authenticity. How do I do that? Okay, there's a great book called The Joys of Imperfection, The Gift of Imperfection. Look it up. It's in my Amazon book list. You guys can look below for all of my personal development books that I suggest. They're in the show notes. So it takes practice, but it also just takes a decision. And can you think about what you're thinking about? That's what leaders do. That's what high net worth people do. It's what highly successful people do. Think about what you're thinking about. Notice the thought patterns of what does perfectionism sound like, and then just decide to allow yourself some grace. And the next time that you're so worried about it not being perfect the first time, like whether you need to pinch yourself or say a funny word or do a little dance or do 10 jumping jacks every time that you hear that perfectionism voice, or do something to make you laugh, you've actually built the habit of being a perfectionist. It's not something that's like inherent to who you are. You've actually just practiced it a billion times. So decide to practice imperfection. Decide to practice grace. Decide to practice that we're not doing that anymore. Make a decision. Make a decision. This isn't who I am anymore. I'm identifying as something else. I'm identifying as somebody that's easygoing and allows myself to fail forward and doesn't get too bent out of shape about it because it's not that deep. Okay. And like, we're moving on. We're moving on. Don't get stuck and allow your timeline to be fixated on this one thing. Like, the timeline keeps moving. We keep moving. Okay. Another mindset shift, focus on becoming rather than achieving. Okay. When I'm doing these things and trying to achieve this result, what am I becoming? What am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? Why am I becoming this? What's the 5-year arc of me doing all this work? And why is that worth it to me? Like, the pageant, the job promotion, the relationship, that's just the short-sighted thing. But what is the long-sighted thing and the reason that's going to allow you to dig your heels in and change when it's uncomfortable? If you can lock into that, you will be tremendously successful. Okay? And then reframing this for a pageant context specifically, understand that the stage is a chance to showcase who I am, not a tool to define who I am. The stage is a chance to showcase who I am, not define who I am. What does that sound like in my head? I'm on stage and I'm like, I'm on a stage. This is so fun. I get to do my talent. I get to sing in front of people. Not, I hope they like my talent. I hope they like me. I hope they give me 10s. I hope they validate me. I hope I do a good job for them. Who freaking cares? They're random people. Here's the test. I always say this. If you were to see the same exact people in Walmart with sweatpants on getting ice cream because they have a sweet craving at 10 p.m., would you care if they gave you a 4 or a 10 out of 10? No. You wouldn't even care if they talked to you. You wouldn't even care. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't think about them. Maybe you give them a nod and you're like, hey, love that flavor. Moving on. But you don't care what they're ranking you in that moment because you've told yourself it's not a big deal. So how you make that a big deal is you tell yourself it's a big deal, and then you compress timelines. You're like, you must think I'm a 10 in this exact moment or else my entire life is going to fall apart. And then that pressure causes it to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? But these people's opinions literally don't matter. What does your opinion of you matter? And then go be that on stage, okay? And that's how you'll win pageants. Way more than caring what people think of you. Way more, okay? Discuss how finding yourself with yourself. Talk to yourself about this. How does doing this competition make me feel lighter? And why do I enjoy this? Period. Okay. And then understand that when you think from this mindset, it's also going to come out of your mouth because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when you're talking like this, there's a brevity and a lightness and charisma organically and something very attractive of someone who's just comfortable in their own skin. How do I get comfortable in my own skin? Decide that you're comfortable in your own skin today and then start acting like it. Act as if until it's true. Okay. If I do enough bicep curls, I'm going to have biceps. If I do enough squats, I'm going to have a rockin' booty. That's how it is. If I go for a walk every day, I'm going to lose weight. If I drink more water, I'm going to lose weight. If I sleep 8 hours a night, I'm going to be more well rested. It's actually not crazy. How do I find myself? I'm attempt to find yourself. Try stuff. Decide. Okay. Now, on the spiritual side of things, put your identity in Christ. You'll go way farther faster and feel way better because he's ultimately the Prince of Peace. And you can't really actually have peace without him. You can't have true peace because he is the Prince of Peace. Okay. So I would encourage you to add a spiritual practice to this development journey, or else you're only going to be working on head knowledge. It's actually never going to drop into your spirit. And you are a spirit who happens to have a soul, which is the mind, the will, and the emotions, and live in a body. So if you want supercharged personal development, attack and address spirit, soul, and body, which shameless plug. If you go to @Megan_Swanson_Rhodes on YouTube, you guys can see that I started a Bible study once a week that I'm very excited about, and you can grow in that spiritual practice with me. We start from the very beginning. Doesn't matter where you're at in your faith walk, it will be a blessing to you. So go to youtube.com/@Megan_Swanson_Rhodes to get all that, and it'll be a blessing to you. It'll be great. Okay, so let's recap. It's super important to find yourself before competing. We have amazing courses. If you haven't gone through our free course yet, definitely go through that. I think somebody just won a national pageant with that last week. I got a DM, which is super cool. Amazing. Then we have our Think Like a Winner mindset course, which will blow your mind. That is in the link in the show notes as well. We have Mastermind coming up, which is a 2-day immersive event where you'll get to go through an entire mock pageant with us. You'll get your scores back. And then the second day, you'll hear from 3 different speakers. We will immerse you into practicing all these areas of competition. and you'll get one-on-one support in almost every area through rotations. We're going to do an excursion. We're going to get dinner together. We're going to get lunch together. It's going to be cozy, comfy, awesome. And I really want all of you guys to be there. So mastermind.powerhousepageantry.com to buy your ticket for that. Can't wait to have you March 28th and 29th. It's going to be a blasty blast. And then, of course, if you want to join my personal mentorship program, I only accept 10 students a month, if that. And that is a selective process. You guys can apply for that if you guys go to sessions.powerhousepageantry.com/chat, or that link is below as well. And you can talk with our sales team to see if that's the right for you, or place for you, or if a course is right for you, or a Powerhouse Club is right for you. We just want to find the right fit for you so that you can reach your goals, but also become who God's called you to become. So lots of exciting things on the calendar. Make sure that you guys take one step today towards becoming that next level, awesome version of who you are. And I hope very selfishly that I get to meet all of you guys in person at Mastermind. This is the only opportunity to work with me in person the entire year. It's the only thing my team does. We fly everybody in. We got people from Utah coming. We got Florida coming. We got the Northeast coming. We got Washington coming. We got everybody, okay? So don't miss out on the party. This is way better than whatever spring break you have planned, I promise. And it's a blast. It's my favorite event of the entire year. Like, it's so much fun. And you're going to place way higher because of it. So that's it, y'all. Go and be blessed this week. And I will see you next week.